How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Lead Therapy, and thank you so very much for taking time for tuning into my video. Despite the new ghost gun rules that have been put in place, Polymer80 is still in business. Polymer80 was the largest provider of so-called ghost gun parts in the United States. It was a one-stop shop to get everything and anything you needed to build your own unserialized firearm, which people have been doing for hundreds of years in this country. But just recently, the rules have changed. They can't do that anymore. One might imagine it might spell the end for Polymer80, especially after Nevada passed a law earlier this year that was pretty much meant in particular to shut them down. However, that doesn't seem the case. Advocates viewed the Nevada law as a potentially more effective tactic than the patchwork of efforts brought to bear so far, and it almost worked. The legislature passed Assembly Bill 286 in a party line vote in May of 2021. In 7 months when the law took effect, Polymer80 would be out of the ghost gun kit making business, at least in Nevada, but thanks to a strategically chosen court venue in rural Nevada and with the help of the New York law firm Greenspoon Martyr, Polymer80 won a decision vacating the section of law that would have halted its ghost gun business. While it is now illegal to assemble or possess a ghost gun in Nevada, it remains legal to possess and transport the components of a ghost gun. As a result, the parts that some use to evade gun control laws and others use to pursue their hobby of homemade gun making continue to flow from Polymer80 to the rest of the country. Anti-gun violence advocates say their court defeat in Nevada underlines the weakness of a state-by-state approach to closing the ghost gun loophole. They also noted that the federal bipartisan gun bill, signed into law in June in response to the spat of mass shootings, does nothing to address the problem of ghost guns. Of course, the federal rules, in theory, do more than Nevada's law ever would. It just means the Polymer80 is serializing their incomplete receivers and complying with the law. What the piece above completely fails to note, though, is how rarely these guns are actually used. While they're being found more often, they're still only a fraction of the percentage of the firearms used in a violent crime. With the new rules in place, Polymer80 is basically no different than a company building firearms, which means their guns will still show up at crime scenes, just like Glock, Smith & Wesson, Ruger, and every other firearm manufacturer out there. Criminals aren't brand loyal after all. They get what they get, and they don't get worked up about it. Polymer80 has been painted like the bad guys for a while now. But as we saw earlier this year, unserialized firearms accounted for a whopping 325 homicides since 2016. Let me go over that again. Not 325 homicides in 2016. It's 325 homicides since 2016. That's total for the entire stretch of time, even if all of them were from Polymer80, which there's no reason to believe they were. It's still clear that the problem of so-called gun violence isn't really about them or their company. Not that the media will ever let them off the hook. Still, they're going to keep on keeping on, which for sure is a good thing. I would hate to see anyone forced to go the way of slide fire. As always, let me know your thoughts about the story in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, please take time to like, share, and subscribe, and hit those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.